In a world where we have all these sources of instant gratification and quick hits of dopamine, it's pretty difficult to be patient, to delay gratification in order to get what we really want. You see, they say successful people let go of what they want right now to get what they really want in the long run. And this is true. 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, I used to try to lose weight through a new exercise program and a new, diet. Every single week, I was trying new stuff, I was on the new hype, the new trend, and nothing was working for me. Then I stuck to the basics of eating less and working out more, and I lost over 65 pounds. So, what does that tell you? It tells you that getting what you want is not actually that complicated. It's just difficult to stick through with it, because your brain is always looking for the new shiny object, and it wants to take you away from the things that actually work, the fundamentals. Often, I see people say that they want something, and then a week later, they're questioning if they really want it. And this is because you're being overstimulated. You can't stick to your decisions when you're seeing all these new things popping up and all these opportunities, and you could run an online store, and then you could also start a business like this, and then you could, maybe go and get a degree, and then you can do all this at once, and it just doesn't work. The more you split your focus and your attention, the more your results suffer. The more you focus on one thing, the better your results are. That's why when I first started my career, I just did YouTube videos every day. Now I do a whole lot of other things too, because I took one, I mastered it, then I took another, I mastered it, and I kept doing that over and over again until I got to the level that I wanted to be at each individual thing. So what I'm really telling you is, whatever you want right now, pick one thing that matters the most and make that the main priority and the main focus. Turn off all your devices and just focus on that. What is the key activity that you have to do in order to generate results in that area? It used to be making videos for me. A lot of the time now I'm working on ads and I'm with clients, and there are other things that I'm focusing on. But I used to identify making a video every day as the main core activity for me to make massive progress every day towards my goal, which was changing my character, becoming a better speaker, and eventually building a business as a coach, which obviously I did pretty successfully. So what I'm really telling you is that whatever you want in life, it's possible. You can have it, but you can't have it and also all these little distractions and all these other things that you're thinking about. Once you decide on something, the most important part of that decision is not what you decided on, it's deciding to cut everything else out, which is really difficult because you'll have the fear of missing out. You'll think, is this really the right thing? You'll question yourself over and over and over, did I make the wrong decision? But just see it through. Because you can always change your mind in 6 months, in 3 months, right? If it gets to that point and you think to yourself, you know what, this is not the right thing for me, I've been doing it for a long time now, and it still doesn't feel right, I'd say it's still too early. It took me 6 months to break through initially when I started doing daily videos, and then it took a year to really get the business to a point where I was really happy and making 6 figures and all that. So this is, over 5 years ago, and I've kept the same mentality of whatever I need to create results in, I'm gonna keep my focus really tight and firm on that thing and pretty much forget about everything else. Now that might sound bad, but your friend group might shrink a little bit, your social circle, Maybe you have to let go of some of those hobbies or activities that you used to do and have time for, but it's worth it. Success does have sacrifice as part of the deal. You have to pay the price. And if you want what you want, then go for it. Otherwise, decide you're not going to do it and be okay with distracting yourself. You see, the worst thing that I know is when somebody says, well, I want this thing, it's really important to me, and I really, really want it. But then their actions are distracted, looking at social media, just messing around, not paying attention, not really focusing and working towards that result. So decide, are you going to go for it and really do it? Are you going to focus because it matters enough to you and you really, really care about it? Or are you just going to let it go and let yourself be distracted and enjoy and be stimulated and not pursue that thing? But pick one of those two. Don't be in the middle. The gray area, that's where all the danger is, because that's where you kind of want it and you're fantasizing about it, but then you're not really doing it. Pick. Either go or don't. But if you're going, just remember, you're going to have to really, really focus. You're going to have to cut out everything else, and you're going to have to really trust yourself that you're making the right decision. Say, you know what, I'm going to close my eyes for the next 12 months and just put in the work, because that really does get results. It's worked for me. I'm still doing it right now to this point. And when I decide I'm gonna slow down, or I just wanna relax and distract myself, that's perfectly okay too, but then I need to make that decision. Do you understand? It's not both at the same time, it's pick. And when you're focusing, you really gotta focus until you get to the point that you wanna be at which point you can choose whether or not you wanna keep going and expanding, or whether you're happy with the results that you've gotten yourself.